Whether you're new to pool and practicing the basics, or a more experienced player performing drills to improve your shot making and positional play, the Drill Partner is perfect for you.
PremierBilliards.com. Exceptional cues, cases, and accessories from top-tier brands. Want it? Need it? Find it. PremierBilliards.com.
Find it. Want it? Need it?
All
Find
right. Panozo, can you hear me? Let's start with that, buddy. Check, check.
it.
Don't do this to me, Mike. Don't put me on tilt this morning, Mike. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Thank the Lord you can hear me. All right, buddy. Mosconi Cup captain time. We're jumping on into it, and we got a great show in store for you guys. Starting off this morning, we heard the news was coming. Actually, Mike was the one that dropped the bombshell unintentionally yesterday at the end of the show, if you guys heard right. And somehow we managed to coordinate getting both captains on this morning. So we're going to start off with Sky, but I want to get your reaction before we bring him on in, Mike. Sky Woodward playing captain, Jamison Shaw playing captain. Give me your thoughts. Give me your impressions. What's going through your head, buddy?
A little bit like we talked about yesterday. I think that's it's interesting. It's a double-edged sword. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys handle it. Be interesting to talk to them after this year and find out, how they liked it, how they didn't like it. A lot of pressure. I talked to Nick Varner. I talked to Johnny Archer, both of whom been playing captains before. And Nick hated it. So, it was just, he just thought there was just a lot of egos in a room, a lot to deal with, and trying to keep your own game straight and decisions to make. And, he said, just don't plan on getting a lot of sleep. And, you're trying to keep all these teammates, in sync and whatever. And, it's a different animal. It's a completely different animal. I think an interesting point that both of them brought up today when I spoke to them this morning was that, and then I'm talking about Johnny Archer and Nick Varner, is that they think it's going to be even more difficult for these guys now because of how big the Mosconi Cup has gotten, how much media is surrounding it, how much more attention you're going to have to devote to all the pre-event activities and all that kind of thing. So all of that, it affects you. It affects different people different ways. So we'll see how. I think if anybody's wired for this job, it's probably. I think Sky will do a great job, but I think Jason's this is kind of made to order for him. He's shown just even running his own business that he's a multitasker. He can keep things in different things and do well. And he can handle all the pressure and the attention like he brought on himself at last year's Mosconi Cup and still play well. So, this is kind of let's we all know Matrim loves Jason Shaw and doesn't want a Mosconi Cup without Jason Shaw. So one way to make sure he's on every team, make him playing captain before it even starts.
Sign him up, boys. Sign him up. I guess that means he's a lock to make it in, although I'm not sure that he would make it in on points this year, Mike. So that's an interesting dynamic and certainly left a lot more questions that need to be asked. I'm sure we're going to get to at least part of them this morning. But yeah, I'm with you. The more that I kind of digested everything last night, I didn't hear about it last night, but just kind of thinking on it a little more thoroughly. A lot more things kind of came up that I didn't initially give weight to whenever we were starting off with, and a lot of good points from guys who were in that position. And I can tell you, just from being in that room in the week leading up to the Mosconi Cup, there was a lot of managing there, like a lot of managing of time, a lot of managing of scheduling, a lot of managing of making sure everyone's staying on point when it comes to training, things like that, where it's one thing to kind of have to do it. It's another thing to have to coordinate 5 guys to do it. So, but listen, I'll let you be the cloud this morning because we got a little bit of positive stuff. I want to see where this kid's
cloud. You asked me my question.
Everything's just it was terrible. It was awful. It was the worst thing. It was the worst idea ever.
I didn't even say that. I didn't say it was terrible. I didn't say it was the worst thing. I get why they're doing it. I think it's interesting. I think, I just think these guys better get ready for having to fade a lot of, drama and logistics. And is Sky going to be the one to tuck everybody into bed? Sky, you going to be the one to tuck everybody into bed?
Answer. Let's start off with that question. Are you going to be the guy to tuck everyone and make sure they're going to bed at a decent hour?
Yeah, I guess. Look, I got a kid. I got a kid on the way. I guess I'll be the only. Probably the only dad on the team from the past years that I've seen. But I feel like, yeah. I have a. Yeah. I'll tuck them all in if they need to be. I'll tuck them in. Make sure
Hold
they're
on.
ready.
Time out, because you got a baby on the way, and it's a daughter, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
So
Got dog.
when is she due? Is she due around Mosconi season? Because could there be late hour drama before the cup starts?
No, July. So should
Ah,
be
okay,
good.
okay. You'll be all right. You'll
Yeah.
be all right then. Well, congratulations on that news, and congratulations on news becoming captain. Tell me about how it all started, Sky. When did you find out? When was it first brought up to you? And how open to it were you at the beginning? Oh, he gone. Are you there?
Am I good?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
you're
good.
there. Yeah, you're good.
Dude.
Can you see us? Let me send him a message. See, the WPA got him.
Am I good?
Let's see here.
Yes.
Yeah, can you hear us? I'm gonna send him a message and telling him to try to refresh if you can.
No.
We'll send you out to the back. let me send him a PM. Let me send him a PM, Mike. Give me 1 second here. See if we can get him on here. Try refreshing. All right, let me see if we can get Sky to kind of refresh his browser here, as he's looks like he's doing that right now. But yeah, Mike, it was whenever you first brought it up and we had seen a little bit of things online. Let me see if he's back here.
Well, that's why it was a good question to ask him. I'm anxious to see what his answer is. Can you
Yeah.
hear us, Sky?
Yeah. What was the
Okay.
question? Sorry, I was getting.
So the question basically is, when did you find out about all this? Because we all saw it start to come a little bit alive on social media when Jason started talking about it. You were like, hell yes, let's do it. When did it start to become something more seriously discussed?
Obviously, like I never really thought about it because there ain't been a playing captain in forever. So honestly, never really crossed my mind. I always thought, yeah, I would love to be captain one day or something because I enjoy it. I enjoyed working beside Jeremy and helping him with everything. So yeah, I always would want to be a captain, but never expected it anytime soon. And Jason making the comment, and then I just was like, pretty much, hell yeah, let's go, let's do this. It would be fun, but um, and I don't see anything against it. There's going to be pros and cons, I'm sure, for with everybody, but it is what it is, and we'll see. I don't know. I'm going to do. I got plenty of time to think about it. I'm just going to do everything I can do to help lead the USA.
What
Did Emily? When did Emily call you and actually say, "Okay, we're actually thinking about doing this"? Are you game?
Yeah, honestly, like 5 days ago, 6 days ago.
was it a question, or was it you're going to do this?
That was probably when we were told we were going to get the spot, and then but before it was in the question, but now it's then she told us that we are going to do this, and you are going to be the captain. So it was like sweet. Like I really didn't even know what to say when she said it because it was kind of still was kind of shocking, but. Um, I'll take it. I feel like I'm ready for it, and I feel like I feel like I'm definitely a veteran now, and we'll see what happens. And I don't know. I'm ready for it.
You getting captain's money too?
That's what I want to know. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm not worried about the money. I've said it in past interviews on any tournament. I just want to win. Want to win. It's the money is a bonus. If you win, you're gonna make the money. You just
Yeah.
gotta win. So that's the plan. Just to win. Put my team in the best spot possible to win, and we'll see.
You're a two-time MVP, Sky, but obviously last year's showing wasn't what you guys expected by any stretch. What needs to be different this year in order to get the USA to be more competitive?
Yeah, I mean, last year was brutal. I mean, Europe pretty much played dead perfect. It was pretty sickening, really. Felt like, and we just made a couple simple mistakes where we could have picked up some pieces, but um, I mean, yeah, it's a new year. It's a new year and everything, and I had my feelings about last year, how the how everything, how the whole event went, but it is what it is, and I mean, it's a new year. We're gonna go into it, brand new. It's kind of like POP's over now, so I'm looking to the next tournament. So it's just the next tournament for all of us, and we're gonna go out there and I'm gonna try to keep everybody, easy going and having fun, and try to keep everybody ready to go.
So, Will, you know, you mentioned about, you have your thoughts on last year, how last year went, and things like that. It sounds like you've kind of kept inside you, kind of kept to yourself. Is this stuff that you'll share with players this year to try to make sure you don't run into any of the same issues you ran into last year? Are you willing to really step into players' faces and kind of give them marching orders on how things are going to work?
Yeah, I mean, I am. I feel like I'm close enough with all of them. I can pull them to the side and tell them what I really think and how I really feel, and I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. You can get mad at me all you want if they have to for a minute, but hopefully they'll respect me for what I say if I have to say something. But I don't. I hope I don't have to say anything, or I hope nobody is in a bad place when we're there. So we'll uh, we'll see. Just hopefully everything goes good. We don't have to say nothing. We just go out there and do our thing. I hope that would be nice, but you
It
never
would be
know.
nice, guy, but it's a
Nothing's
stretch.
ever real smooth.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say that seems like a reach there because inevitably there's gonna be ebbs and flows to it. You're gonna face some adversity, and you're gonna have to kind of pull the team together and give them hell speech at some point or another, or get back into it. There's been a few times over the years, Sky, where Shane's kind of had issues in the Mosconi Cup, and I want to just jump on into it. We've seen him check out mentally. We've seen him kind of disengage at points throughout the cup. Is that any kind of focus for you going into this year, and how do you feel like you're going to be able to address it if it does, show its head again?
I mean, I've known Shane for a long time now, and I've seen him clock in and clock out
Yeah,
in the middle of matches. Clock out and he clocks back in. But it's yeah. I mean, I feel like I can tell him stuff. I can tell him pretty much whatever. But it, I feel like it could be a little different between me and Shane, even though I'm captain. So I'm gonna have to think about that and maybe have somebody to text him or something on the side if I need it. Like if I literally have to have something to get through to Shane, then I will do what I have to do. But
I was
obviously, I will try first and see. I mean,
yeah,
and I
I
mean,
was thinking
you can
about
read
that.
Shane. You can read Shane pretty much like a book of how he's
Yeah.
feeling. So I'll know if I get
sure,
through to him or not.
yeah.
So
So,
yeah, well,
so would you
I'll do that.
consider having someone like Scott Frost or something like as a wingman, where you know that he's someone that can get through to Shane, and if you need to lean on someone, you could use someone like that.
I mean, yeah, I would think about using certain people for
Right.
each player or something, but it's I don't know. I don't know if like one person is good for all five guys because
Right.
I don't know that anybody that's really close to all five of the guys that if you like that would be on the team. If you the five guys, I don't know one person that would be close to all five,
Right.
whoever they will be, but. Um, I don't know. So I really don't know, but I would really think about it and maybe have stuff set up on the side in case something did fall apart to help out certain players. So, um, yeah, just something to think about. I mean, like I said, I got plenty of time to think about it. I'll definitely have backup plans if something doesn't go good.
Are you ready?
Shane would
Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was going to say Shane was out there in Connecticut. What was his reaction to the news that you were going to be the captain this year?
I don't think he. I don't think he knew. I don't think he knew till probably today. So because we even talked about it on the side at one point. Actually, maybe a couple times, and I'm over there trying to not give it away. I'm just like, well, I don't know. I don't know who I'd pick. Shane. I don't know.
Well,
But
when you talk about picks, are you talking about who you'd pick for captain, or who
captain.
you'd pick if it's wild card? Because that's a whole other discussion that's going to have to be had. Are you going to be responsible for picking the two wild cards on this year's team as well?
Yeah, I was talking about captain. Who was going to be captain? That's
Hmm.
what he asked me. Who would be your captain? I don't know, Shane. Really? Um, oh yeah, I'll be responsible for uh, picking the last two guys, which I've seen how hard it was on Jeremy and stuff. So not looking 100% forward to that, but it
Yeah.
is what it is, and I got to pick. I'm going to pick whoever I feel is right pick at that time.
How,
Yeah,
how did, how,
I hope you're ready for all the guys who are going to be your best friend for the next 6 months.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Everyone's buying you dinner, buddy.
yeah. Hey, that's fine. That's fine. I can
As
save all
far
the
as
money
the
I
wild
can. Let's
card
go.
goes, as far as the wild card goes, if you don't qualify as one of the top 3 point getters, do you get charged as a wild card? Do you know?
Yeah, so playing captain. So yeah, if I don't make it by points, I will be a
You'd be
wild card.
considered one of the 2 wild card picks.
Yeah,
So then you'd only have one left.
yeah. So I guess the key is to try to make it by points.
Yeah, yeah. To give you more options, sure.
I was in the room a lot last year, Sky, as you guys were getting ready. Obviously, there was a lot of different dynamics and things you guys were doing in order to get prepared for it. But it's a lot to keep up with 5 guys, making sure they stay focused and stay on point and stay training and stay going. 8 hours a day, every day for 5 days a week and whatever else. So, how vital is that going to be to y'all's success this year? And are you looking forward to that at all? Staying on everyone's ass.
Yeah, I really am. I think it'll be fun. It'll be fun either way. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be new to me. I helped in the past push these guys with what I could and everything, and I feel like I've done some of it already. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm just gonna try to push them even more and I feel like now I have more say so I could say even more if needed. So yeah, I feel like there's already some guys I've thought about to push a little more this year and look forward to it and seeing what happens.
What you got, Mike?
No. I mean, it's all just an interesting dynamic for you be in this position now, which is completely different. So you're going to have to be the one pushing people and watching people. Are you going to spend more time at tournaments now watching other players play when you start to get into that mindset of having to think about who would be a wild card, things like that? Are you going to have to be more of a student of watching other people now for a while?
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to pay more attention for sure because in the past I've never been the one that likes to watch pro pool. I've never cared for it. I'd rather be the guy who will go sit and watch 2 guys that are APA twos. But I just have more fun watching that. I just always been that way. But yeah, I'm definitely like at the big events. Um, I'm definitely gonna sweat more matches and watch and think about pros and cons to each person and who fits, who don't fit. So
Well, it's exciting times, and you're going to have 5 Americans going out there and battling 5 tough Europeans, and along with you being announced was this guy being announced as well, captain of the Europeans, Jason Shaw. Welcome to the show, Jason. What kind of fireworks can we expect come this November?
Ask Skyler.
fireworks.
Nah. What's
Well,
up,
see,
guys?
it's still early. It's still early.
Yeah, it's still early. It's still early. Not yet. Maybe in a couple of months. No. Yeah, it's going to be good. Obviously, we had Emily posted something in there. So who was it posted? Was it Emily about the captains? And then I posted in the comments about me and Skyler. I think it's obviously good having captains, and it brings a little bit of drama and stuff like that leading up to it. But I don't think we need a captain as far as someone there. I think more on the American side, maybe. As far as like Mike was talking before, they're saying to Skyler, is he going to go watch players? Going to go watch the matches? Skyler said not really. He doesn't really want to go watch that, right? But he's going to have to. When you have a captain, they're doing that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So you're able to concentrate on your own game, and if you get beat, you can get out of there and not go back. But now you got other things that you have to take care of. So you're going to have to stay there and watch matches and watch other players play, even when you're beat. So that might be tough on you, but that's part of the role. And I think Skyler will be good with it, and I'll be good with it too. So I don't think there's a big problem there.
What chance do the Americans have at beating the Europeans, Jason? Oh, there he go. He's gone.
He's probably same problem I probably had. He's
man.
calls.
Just as soon as I asked the question, hey, can you
He
hear us?
didn't want to laugh in front of the camera.
Yeah. Jason, can you hear us? No,
Nope.
I'm gonna send
Jason.
Jason.
Phone call problem.
Yeah, let me send him to the back.
Hey man, while he's gone, we got a great shot. It's happening.
Well, I mean, listen, last year 11-3 Sky was tough, and there was a lot of optimism last year. There was a lot of optimism.
Honest, what I really think.
Let's hear it. Yeah, of course.
I think we got punished.
Why do you say that?
The first year, Federer moves to Team USA. I feel like we honestly got punished the first year. They played the best pool they've ever played against us, and then it just is how it went. I think we got punished the first year.
And now
that's what it was.
So that was it. It was just the pool gods that were punishing you, not the fact you got 5 champions over there.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying. I mean, probably wouldn't have won anyways. The way they played last year. But I'm saying I think we got a little bit punished because of that. I think it's just part of it.
What chance do the Americans have, Jay?
They've got a chance. You know what I mean? Like Shane started playing good again. Not that he's not been playing good. You know what I mean? You can see he's picked up his normal game again. Obviously Fedor is just Fedor. You know what you're going to get from him. And then obviously you got Skyler. And then the other two, this is where it comes in, right? It's never about those 3 guys or Shane or Skyler. It's never been about that. It's always been about the other 2. So in my eyes, I feel like having a captain for Team USA, yeah, it's good and all that, but it always comes down to something different, When the players have a choice or have a say on who should be on the team, they know and they understand who they gel with or what they bring to the team, you know what I mean? As wearing a captain, they might see it different. So I think it's good that Skyler's got that kind of power to see that he can pick the right player to fit in. And that's how I see it.
You think he's the right leader for Team USA, Jason?
Yeah, he's laid back. He goes out there and does what he's got to do for the team, and I'm sure that all the players on the team respect him enough to understand what he's going to do is hopefully right for the team.
What you got, Mike?
Yeah, no, Jason, I'm just curious as to now you'll be in the position of having to pick wild cards or a wild card depending on how your ranking goes through the year. It seems like you would be one who would be more likely to pick someone that you've played with before than picking a first timer. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. But that also depends on the team as well, you know what I mean? Depends on how someone's playing or performing. There's a long way to go, but I'm sure that by the end of the year, you're probably going to see familiar faces in the team again. But there's a long way to go, and there's a lot of big tournaments, so you just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Who's got the winning record between you two at Mosconi Cups when y'all matched up?
I think I'm up one.
Yeah, I think he's up. Yeah, I think he's up. I
He
think he's up
remembers.
1, 2.
Not like they
Yeah,
keep count.
Yeah.
I think he's up 1.
I think we've only played 3 times. I think.
Yeah, I think so. It's funny the Mosconi Cup because there's times where you've played for 5, 6, 7 years or whatever it may be, and some of the matches you've not really played a lot of times.
Yeah.
So to only play like 3 times out of the last like 6 years is mad.
Yeah.
I want to get Sky out of here on this unless Mike's got something else. But and it's a question for both of you guys. Do you guys feel any relief knowing that it's March and you already got a spot in the Mosconi Cup locked up?
Feels pretty good to me.
Yeah. Definitely a relief, you ain't got to stress at the end if you don't make points or something, but it's it's nice to know that already on.
Yeah.
You got anything else, Mike, before we let Sky get out of here?
Well, I'll ask both of you this, but I know Jason's got opinions on this already. I mean, as long as we're on new captains, let's talk about, and you talked about having only played Skyler 3 times. Let's talk about format. Are you guys, have you talked about anything in terms of tinkering with the format? I know there was a lot of discussion after last year with people about, trying to get more even play between all the players who are playing. Have you guys thought about that much at all?
Not really. I think with Skyler being the player and the captain, I think obviously the full team, maybe will have a say in it or have a talk over before you even write anything down. I think that's your best solution. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As much, because some people might not want to play the first match, or they might want a little bit more time to practice in the back, and you just got to see how things plan out on that day, because some people might not be feeling the same as they did the day before. It's all about on the day, right? It's all about how you're feeling on the day. Sometimes you wake up and you might feel a little bit nervous, or thinking about the match, you've not slept good or whatever. So some people need more time. It's true. It's true.
No, I believe it.
It's true. There's been times when players have been on early and then they've ended up changing it before.
Yeah.
Because they need a couple of hours at the hotel and then come later for the match. They don't want to be there all day. So it's just all about on the day.
Yeah.
What say you, Sky?
Right. Yeah. I mean, the format is, obviously, I mean, if it's the same as last year, it's the same, but we'll adjust to whatever the format will be. But it's I mean, we're gonna.
Yeah.
Jason pretty much gave the answer.
Yes, it is. It's all on the day.
Yeah, I mean, he's right, because like if I play third or fourth match, I don't want to go there 3 hours early and to hit balls, because then I want to hit balls, and then I might wear myself out before I go out and play. So it's just like you gotta know, like you need to know your players and stuff. So also on like that aspect, because obviously like if you got like Shane and like Tyler on the team, that they want to play like nonstop, and I've seen that in the past. They're always the ones that go on with the early group to go hit balls early. So, so I know like they would want to hit balls way before everybody else. Like me, I want to get there like an hour or two before my match. That's enough to warm up and be ready.
I see that Ashley is suggesting that Mosconi be switched to bar table 8 ball. You up for that, Sky?
Yeah, bar table 8 ball.
Okay, but let's make it bar table 8 ball, but it has to be English 8-ball tables.
I knew it.
I can see Emily's eye rolls from here. Sky,
at least someone will watch it then. You know what I mean? If the pockets are somewhat tight, those bar tables, people live in them.
Yeah.
That's how big they are.
It would probably definitely change Team USA if we made it bar table.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
and
different
Team Europe would be done after the first day. We'd be in bits. We'd be gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Sky, we appreciate your We appreciate your time, Sky. We'll finish off with Jay. I'm sure we'll bring you on the next coming weeks as well. And thanks a lot for making time for us this morning. Congratulations on being selected as Team USA captain. You got anything else before we get out of here?
No, thank you, and thanks to everybody. I can't wait. I'm pumped up, and it's still new to me, but yeah. So I'll be ready. Like it'll settle in more later on, and shoot, got a long time to think about everything. So just ready to go.
All right, buddy. We'll see you soon. And Jay, just hang tight for me.
Well, do. See you later, Sky.
All right, buddy. So now you're on the hot seat, Jason. News came to you, and I saw the post that you guys were talking about as far as Emily bringing up captains and you being a playing captain. Was that something that you pushed for more during conversations, or was it something where, hey, this is happening and you're doing it, or walk me through what that was like on your end?
I just feel like over the last few years, you know what I mean, I got a lot more involved, you know, in the team and, doing stuff and realizing what needs to go on and what needs to be done and stuff like that. And I think with the group of guys that we've had over the last couple of years, we've created a really good bond. Um, so we all trust each other. So it's been like, yeah, we've had a coach, but we've all did it as a team. You know what I mean? Everybody's had a say in everything we've done. It's not just one decision and that's that. That's that. So I think, people have seen that and they can see that I can do that job and still play at the same time. So I think Skyler's the same as well. Uh, he's got the same thing about him. He goes out there, does his job. He's not scared to say anything, and I'm the same. And I think that's two good guys to have as your leader. And there's no better place to do it than the Mosconi Cup.
If there's ever been any knock on your Mosconi Cup performance, it's been like your emotions kind of getting the better of you at times. You know what I mean? Like you getting really amped up. How do you who was keeping you in check, if anyone, during that time? Was it a captain kind of trying to bring you more down to earth? And how do you plan on keeping that balance out there now that you're in that leadership role?
I think over the last few years of playing with different captains, you learn a lot from leading up to it, doing practice sessions,
Yeah,
spending a lot of time with them, seeing how things are done, the right way to train when you're there as a group, just doing the right things, and I've learned a lot from being in the team. This will be like what, eighth time I think coming up, or ninth, I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, I've just learned so much, and I think going forward, I think I'll be good. I've been good for the last don't know how many years. I know how to handle it now, and
yeah.
in that environment, I just feel at home, and that brings the best out of me.
Why does it bring the best out of you? Because you seem to be, like you said, just at home and comfortable.
When I was younger, that's how we played English eight ball when we were younger. When you went to a World Championships, there would be Scotland, Ireland, Wales, like there would be like 20 different countries, and there would be thousands of people, and you would be in a big arena with like 40 tables in there, and you're playing for your country. It's like races to 11. You play one frame each, and there would be thousands of people singing national anthems, cheering. It's just I grew up in that environment.
Yeah.
If you could, there's some videos right now. There was just a European Championships on in Bridlington, England, and I used to do the same thing. Go there, thousands of people there just cheering on the country. It's crazy. So that's how I grew up in that environment, and the Mosconi Cup's the exact same.
Love it. What you got, Mike?
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about learning from captains and things like that. You've had, I think you never played for Johan, did you?
No.
Okay, so you played with Marcus, with Alex, and with Ralph.
Yeah.
Tell me something that each one of them taught you along the way as far as learning how to handle that environment and decision making.
Well, I think with Marcus, it was a little bit different. at that time, because that was like 2016.
Yeah.
That was my first Mosconi Cup. So obviously it wasn't as much as of like learning the ropes or seeing. I just was always like watching and seeing how it goes on. You know what I mean? You always learn from everything because you're always being spoken to, kind of, in little group meetings, what to do, how to prepare yourself, how to, if you're not doing the right things, just come and speak to him and just doing little small things. So I think with Marcus, it was more like just being part of it and just soaking up all the experience. And then obviously with Alex is just a different level. He's like the super coach. He's the ultimate coach. He just puts you through your paces, never lets you rest. He's always got you on your toes. And if you're not like feeling good or whatever, he always kind of took you away for like a walk, had a little chat with you. And it was never about pool, it was always about something else to take your mind off the game. So from him, I learned so much from him. And I'm sure all the other guys did as well. And Ralph is kind of hard to
Yeah.
say.
Tough one.
Did we learn that much? Yeah, we had some good times, and he's a great, smart, intelligent guy about the game. He's played the game for a long time, and he's been successful at times. So yeah, probably learned a bit from him to be just more relaxed, and not worry about anything at all. Just sit back and just chill. And still do a
It's
little
easy to
bit of
sit
work.
back and chill when you're winning 7-1, but that's another story.
Yeah. So I think with Ralph, it was a good time. We had great times in it, and I'm sure that maybe we'll be back in the future. But he was more just a laid back and let us do what we wanted to do, and that's why I think that we didn't really need a captain going forward, because if we can just be able to pick the team the way we see it as players and know who to put out without having a big ego, like there's a lot of times where I could put myself out in singles, but we're all like put filler out. You know what I mean? It's a team, but it's easy to have a big ego and get into that. But that was the whole thing about the team. We all stuck together and had a big say in it. So that's why I think the player captain will work fine.
It's interesting what you said about Alex, what you learned from him in terms of, keeping guys on their toes, keeping them always busy, taking them off to the side, talking about.
I love that part.
I do too, but how do you do that as in an event that you're playing? Can you do that same type of stuff? It seems like that's a lot to ask of yourself.
Well, not really, because it's like, so you get up in the morning and you're going to breakfast, and it might be the group chat that we're all in, and it's like, hey, where are you at? And it's like, oh, I didn't sleep good last night. So then it's like he might finish his breakfast and head on out, go meet you, go for a little walk outside, clear your head, and you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
little small things. There's always times where you might be in the practice room and we'll all be practice, and he might say, I'm going to go for a walk with Joshua for 10 minutes. We'll be back. We're going to grab a coffee. Just stuff like that. There's always time for him to come in and take that little bit of time to make us feel, the way we need to be to go out and perform good.
Yeah.
How do you do you feel like this is going to affect your game any, just having to have your attention be on so many other things at one time?
Not as much. I don't think so. I think when I'm doing too much at one time, like cooking and serving and doing all that stuff, that's different from talking about pool or being involved in it. You know what I mean? Like my head's in the game when I'm there. There's just other stuff when my head's not in the game. Like I'm too busy doing other stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does it help having, when more than likely you're going to have other veterans out there that you've been, in battle with before for years? Does that help out quite a bit, knowing that they know what to expect? They know what the workload's going to be like. They know, how to keep their finger on the pulse or off the pulse, things like that.
Yeah. Obviously, like Skyler said, it's tough to go watch when you're out, right? You want to just go ahead and do your own thing, but I know that half of the guys that are been in the team are probably going to be around in the team again. So it's all about the new guys that are there, right? You know, the young guys, all the young guys coming through. These are the guys that are right there every year. So it's about them. If they can make some big runs and big tournaments and make it difficult for me, you know what I mean? Then I might have a bit of a headache. I also have to perform myself, you know what I mean? Otherwise, one of the wild cards might not be there, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So
That's a
there's a
big
lot
deal.
of different things that goes with it. So there's a long way to go, but I think all these young guys, if they can make, you know, good runs in big tournaments, then it makes it difficult for me at the end.
Yeah.
Who are some guys that you got your eye on, Jason? Just that what you've seen over the last, let's say, 2 years in their play, maybe guys who haven't been on the Mosconi Cup but have been on the radar or knocking on the door.
I think Victor, he's definitely, you know, you can see how much he's improved over the last few years. He's had some nice wins, and I think he's young. He's still raw. You know what I mean? He's still got a lot to learn, but obviously he's one to watch. And then I think another one, you know, Moritz. He's like really, you know, had a lot of good success in the last year and a half, 2 years. So you know, another one to look out for. There's plenty of young guys that are there that can just like start doing well. A lot of Polish guys as well. You know, there's like two or three
A
of them
ton.
now.
Yeah.
Um,
Martial, there's a lot of them.
yeah, and he plays really good too.
Yeah.
It's just the Polish guys are strong at the moment as well. So, like I said, there's a lot of big tournaments left. The big tournaments is where it's at, right? This is where the ultimate pressure is. These
Right.
tournaments coming up, the World Nine Ball is going to be the best tournament for the pressure.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna really see if the young guys there do well. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. If they really do well in that tournament, then they got chances to really progress in the next few tournaments because it will just give them more confidence.
Well, give them more confidence. Plus, if you make the Final Four in the World Championship, you're going to jump up on that rankings
Yeah.
list in a real rush.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So you got a lot of stuff out there that can happen real quick. So I'm just looking forward to that tournament to see everybody just dogging their brains out, even me.
We talked about that yesterday.
It's gonna be funny, man. It really is. It's gonna be funny.
We talked about that yesterday. How when you get to the quarterfinals or the semifinals of the World Championship with 250 on the line and things like that, you're going to see a little bit of shaking, a few elbows. That's for sure.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. You know what I mean? Like we just seen the PLP. Shane won, but at the end he was under it, and you know, for 20,000. So I couldn't imagine him maybe shooting that for 250.
Right.
So it's gonna be incredible. But you know, there's a lot of other tournaments there. Hanoi, you know, the World Pool Masters coming up, US Open. It's gonna be a good year for pool.
Let's say a couple rookies get on Team Europe, Jason. You know, what are you doing to get them acclimated or
don't
get their...
don't say that yet. Don't give me a headache yet.
There's a real you mentioned these young guys who are knocking on the door. I mean, I know I asked the question, but there's a realistic possibility because a lot of them are showing like pure form and consistency in tournaments. And you know, have you given that possibility any kind of thought, or are you just going to take it as it comes?
I'm just going to take it as it comes, mate. I think if at the end of the day, if they make it through the rankings, what can I do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just they've did their job. They've did what what they have to do. Well. So then obviously,
right.
Yeah, and then it's up to me to do my job after that to try and pick the strongest two that could possibly make the strongest five, and that's all I can do. I can't do anything else. It's not like I can change it up. I just got to try and make it as strong as I could.
There's so many tournaments this year, and there'll be so many tournaments at that last quarter of the year, kind of leading up to it. It's going to be going to make your head spin, don't you think, in terms of watching who's in, who's out, who's on the fringe, who's not on the fringe, trying to get you forget about the logistics of trying to get the team put together and get them together before the Mosconi Cup for any length of time, things like that. You're going to have a lot on your plate that last quarter of the year.
Yeah, I think, but it gives me more time to so if I'm there anyway, could be doing a little bit of commentating on some of the matches more, you know what I mean? So I'm getting to see it firsthand instead of sitting in the crowd or what. But I just don't want to be there and shock the players, I'd rather be out the way watching, but I'm sure that they'll still see me.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to be that type of person to just sit around and watch them and put more pressure on them. I don't want to do that because when I was younger, I used to hate it. You're trying your bollocks off and everybody's sitting there watching, and half of them that are watching and need you to lose so that they
And
get
you're under the microscope.
Yes,
you've got a guaranteed spot on the team, and there could be a tournament late in this year where you're playing one of those guys late in the tournament.
Look at the U.S. Open last
true.
year. The U.S. Open was that way. Alexa had a chance to get in late in that tournament. There was a couple of guys who could have made moves. Moritz, if he wasn't sick, he was in a good spot to make a deep run and possibly get a spot on the team. I mean, and that was in whatever it was, August, October, whatever month it was. That was late in the year.
Yeah. And then Hanoi was right after that tournament.
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how he did in that tournament. I think
he didn't do well.
Last 32 maybe.
Well, yeah. I don't even think he did that. But yeah.
But yeah, just that might be a wild situation at one point.
Yeah. If you play someone who's sort of hunting for a
imagine I'm playing I don't know,
Victor or someone who's
just imagine this situation. Imagine I'm playing Filler or Albin, you know what I mean, or something like that, and one of them are already in, or it could be a wild situation where two amazing players could come down to those two, and I have to pick one of them. That would be the worst.
Congratulations, buddy.
But listen, I know that comes part of it, and then obviously someone might not like me anymore. You know what I mean, for that reason. But there's hundreds of people that don't like me, so I don't care.
Everybody loves Jason Shaw.
Nah, I'm just joking. But obviously, I hope that wouldn't come into play. But like I said, I just want to pick the strongest five. Right, I want us to win.
There's like a core group of leaders amongst the Europeans, and you see them every time you go to a tournament, and you're part of that group, obviously. But do you feel like you got their respect, Jason, from maybe your vocal leadership, but also the way you play the game out there?
Yeah, and I think obviously they know I'm crazy in that environment, and they know I can just go ahead and do whatever I say I'm going to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? I go ahead, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go do this and do that. And they're like, you're crazy, man. Why are you going to say that? You know what I mean? Are you going to really say that? And I'm like, yeah. And they just start laughing. So, I think they know that when I'm in the Mosconi Cup, I mean business. You know what I mean? I really, really want to win. I don't know what it is. It's a weird thing. I think team events is the best thing ever. You know what I mean? Because you're not just relying on yourself. You're playing for your team.
It's a team thing, and I think you enjoy that. But you also, on the other side of it, you seem to take Mosconi Cup very personally. And I don't mean that in a way of putting yourself ahead or anything, but it's like a personal thing for you winning the Mosconi Cup.
Yeah, and also, do you know what? After I did the straight pool record, I actually want to have a sick record in the Mosconi Cup as well, just to kind of go along with it. And it's funny you should say that because I was actually watching some, and I never, so all the Mosconi Cups I've played, I've probably watched 6 or 7 matches in my life. I don't watch them because it's weird, even though I've got great moments there. I just every time I watch them, I always think back, man, and I wish I was back in those moments, because there's such great times. Yeah. You just never know when it's going to end.
Right.
So I was actually last night watching a bunch of matches downstairs when I was practicing for an hour, and I was downstairs and I was just thinking about the feeling of just being out there, at the top of the stairs or being in the back room just before you walk out. It's just an amazing feeling, and to be part of it and knowing that one day, you know, you might not be here and everybody remembers you as a legend in the Mosconi Cup.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's my whole thing on it. I just want to play as many as possible, win as many as possible, and leave my name there for a long time to come.
I'm sure you'll play in many more, but even if you don't, your legacy is pretty secure as far as a
Agreed.
Mosconi Cup
Yep.
hero. So where will you be flying to Florida from? Connecticut or Dubai?
I'm not sure because there's another tournament before, right, in Florida?
Well, the International's right before it, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm sure that's good for all the players as well because it gives us time to settle there, and you know, probably the guys that are coming over from Europe, they're going to have time to get over the jet lag as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, probably what time is that? Is it November? What tournaments is before November? Like September, there's not many tournaments, is there?
Hold on, Mike's looking at his Flintstones notepad over there. He's got hang tight.
Man, I'm so tired. I had to get up this morning and go to the pool room and get all the
Hey,
tapes. And every
Hannoi's
day,
that.
8, 9.
Hey,
Hannoi's
by the way,
in
congratulations on a great event out there, Jason.
Yeah.
Everything
Thanks,
looked
man.
great out
Oh yeah,
there.
congratulations. Hanoi is in October, and also the Reyes Cup.
Let's talk
And
about
what
that because
is
I was
in
just about to.
September? There's nothing, right?
Wait. Did Mike just drop the
Sept-
bomb that the Reyes Cup is before Hanoi? Is
I
that
didn't
what
say.
Mike
I did not say that. I said the Reyes
Is
Cup
I'm
is
sure he
supposed to
said
be the
after.
last,
is that what
Reyes
Mike
Cup is
said?
supposed to be the last quarter of the year.
Oh,
Did you
let's talk
not?
about
Did
the
you
Reyes
not
Cup.
say? Did you not say it's in October? There, I'm like after Hanoi,
That
or
I
did you say
believe that's what he
before?
said, Jay.
That was just a guess.
We'll let you away with it.
If there is a Reyes Cup, obviously by this announcement, you would then be on the team, Jason. How up to that challenge would you be, and how up
Say,
to the challenge are the Europeans going to be?
say that again. Sorry.
No, I was saying if there is a Reyes Cup, or by what Mike's saying, when there is a Reyes Cup in October, you'll probably be on that
Might
team.
not
Just
be
given
October, but it's
that
supposed to be the
that's your
last quarter of the year, and it can't be November.
how
It's okay,
how up
Mike.
to the challenge are you going to be, Jay? And how excited are you for that?
Yeah, that'll be obviously that's another big thing that's going to happen, and I'm sure obviously they'll pull a big crowd out there, right? They're gonna
Yeah.
pull something really big, so that's another special event, and yeah, obviously hope to be part of it, and hope to be part of it with 4 other top players because we're going to need it.
Has there been
They're going
any
to have a
discussion?
super team, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Has there been any
Huh?
discussion about how they would pick a team Europe for a Reyes Cup? I mean, would
Not sure. I
it be the
think that
Mosconi Cup winner, or would it be a whole different selection?
Well, I thought I heard it was the winner from last year's Mosconi Cup that was going to play them, but then I'm sure now is it not like going to be rankings and then wildcards or something? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I thought maybe you would know more than me, but
No, I thought I heard something different. Not from
Just watch
Emily
the
or
show. Mike will
anybody.
drop it by accident again, like
I
everything
I,
I
else.
don't
I
know.
thought
I gotta say,
I thought I seen something a long time ago that said like it was 3. It was it not on their website? That said
Yeah.
3 spots in the rankings and then 2 wildcards for the
okay,
Reyes Cup. I'm not sure. I'm not
yeah.
sure.
I mean, originally when the topic got brought up, it was the winner of the Mosconi Cup plays
Yeah.
Team Asia, right?
Yeah, that's what I heard, and then actually we were speaking about it at my event, me, Francisco, and David and Albin, and I was like, I'm not sure. I think it's qualifying, and he was like, really? And I said maybe, and he said I thought it was the winner of the Mosconi Cup, but obviously not.
Yeah.
Well, Jason, we appreciate your time. We know it was kind of last minute, but if there's any player that was made for that role, it's without a doubt you. You've earned your scars, you've earned with victories, you've earned with solid performances and legendary Mosconi Cup performances at that, which is not easy to do. You're a special player in that field, and it's proven its record over the last few years, man. So, congratulations. I'm sure we'll have you on plenty more. Mike, you got anything else before we get Jay out of here?
No, I'm keeping my mouth shut.
Mike, don't worry. Emily won't. She won't give you into trouble if you
She
talk
does.
today.
She doesn't watch the show anyway, Mike. Jason, I'm gonna
I'm
let you out
sure.
of here, and then I'm gonna
I'm gonna
grill
tag
Mike on
her.
a couple of other things. Yeah,
I'm gonna tag her in it. No, I'm joking. I'll see you later, guys. Thanks. I
yeah.
appreciate it, everyone.
Sure,
See you
Jay.
later, man.
We'll
Bye.
see you later.
Bye.
Well, Mike, good job, buddy. Back-to-back days, as SVB is in the comments saying, "I'll be ready." Team USA.
Oh,
flag.
Shane's already ready. If Shane could be any more ready, they played tomorrow, they'd have no chance.
If they play tomorrow, I mean, it'd probably be 50-50. 50-50, pretty close, Mike. I think so. The way everyone's playing right now, three Americans, last 6 of PLP, Shane being on a tear, Sky, and all the adrenaline going. I think it'd be pretty good, Mike. What would your takeaway before I grill you a little bit on what you said there?
Takeaway? Well, no, I mean these guys are. It's interesting to me. This was a Jason idea. It feels like, right?
Yeah.
And I think part of it was a Jason idea because he feels really comfortable in that position. And, for the U.S., it was kind of like, oh, okay, you're going to change it up. One of us is going to be captain. It wasn't, this big sales job. So I think he feels like he got one up on the U.S. by that because, this is something that he wants.
You better be careful what you
wish
for.
I was kind of caught off guard, like, yeah, no, I'll do it. I think it'll be fun. I like to be but he wasn't thinking the whole time, I want to be Team USA captain this year. From that standpoint, I think, Jason made something happen that he wanted to happen, which is great for him. I think like I said, I think Sky will do great. I think Jason was like born. If there was anybody that you would want to be, if someone had to be a player captain, that's your guy. Right. So, he knows all the angles. He knows all the tricks. He's smart. He knows how to work with teams. He's learned how to work with players. And he loves that atmosphere more than anybody. So he's built for that spot.
I think both of them have taken on leadership roles to a big degree over the years in that locker room. And I feel like that's what's helped prep them to get them ready to be in this position. However, I feel like you better be careful what you wish for because there's a whole lot more responsibility than just being like the pseudo captain lends itself to. And I think as we start to really think about this through, and I'm sure they'll feel the same way where they realize, oh man, there's a lot more responsibility than just being that vocal leader in that moment. You know what I mean? Whenever you need there. And here's the other thing, Mike, like if you were to put the 5 Europeans in a pool room right now saying you're playing tomorrow, I think they all know what to do to get to work. The Americans, I think you'd have to corral a little bit and tell them what they need to do in order to get to work.
A lot more work from the American side.
Well, but you can also say the same thing. You saw Jason's reaction whenever we talked about the possibility of rookies making the team. So what that level of stress is going to do to his game, if it happens to be that way, will show its face as well.
Jason goes into this knowing that he's going to have a very comfortable team, right? Sky.
But you also don't want to be that guy. Listen, you just won 11-3. You won 11-3 in Europe. You don't. There's going to be some pressure where you don't want to be that guy. I think
they're both gonna admit later that it was way more than they thought it was going to be, pressure-wise and work-wise. Neither one of them has ever played on a team with a playing captain.
Right.
So,
but they're both Mike. They're both made for it.
They're both made for it, but it's going to be a different setup. There's no doubt about it. You got to be the babysitter. You got to be the father confessor. You got to soft stroke this guy and push that guy. You got to get everybody ready for tomorrow. You got to make the lineups. You can talk to all the players about it, but you're going to, Jason's got a strong opinion on how things should go, guaranteed. So,
he's an alpha.
So it's going to, there's going to be a lot there that I think they're going to be not prepared for, but just they're going to be like, wow, this is way more than I thought it was going to be.
In case you were under a rock, the Mosconi Cup is going to be in Orlando, Florida this year. It will not be in Facebook. So not in Facebook, in Vegas. So make sure and get your tickets. Along with that, Mike, are we going to have, and I don't know, since you're the one putting news out there that maybe shouldn't be out there yet, are we going to have is on that note, is the SVB Hall of Fame induction going to happen around this same time, Mike? Is that something that we can confirm?
No, I would love. Well, I'll assume that Shane is going to be the inductee this year. I would love to do it at Mosconi Cup. I have talked to the USBMA members, make sure they're all cool with it. But the main thing, I got to talk to Matchroom and see if they're willing and able to help us make this happen. I have no clue what the venue is like in terms of size and availability, things like that. So I would love to do it at Mosconi Cup if that works out. If not, then there's a possibility to do it at the International again.
We need it at the Mosconi Cup, Mike. SVB needs to be needs to be around the Mosconi Cup.
I agree, but it's got to be there has to be room for us there, and there has to be a willingness on Matchroom's part to allow us to be part of the program. It was a lot easier when we did the Hall of Fame banquet during Mosconi's in Las Vegas, because the time difference between there and UK, where they're airing this live, right?
Right.
So in Las Vegas, they ended at 3-4 o'clock every afternoon. So you've got plenty of time to have an evening banquet, right? Now you're 3 hours east. So all of a sudden at 3 o'clock in the afternoon becomes 6.
Listen, I mean this with all due respect as I can possibly say it. When it comes to SVB's Hall of Fame induction, we don't give a damn about the UK time slot. It's about the American fans, and we all want to see it. Let's make it happen to Mosconi Cup.
I don't care about UK fans. What I'm saying is that, you can't start a banquet with all the Mosconi Cup players there, including Shane, at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. That's going to go 3 hours, and they got to get up late the next morning, right?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
I take back what I said then. I take that.
Well, you said it with all due respect. So
yeah.
But no, there's just a lot of things that have to be kind of sorted out before we could. But trust me, we would love to do it at Mosconi. I think that the best possibility would do it the night before Mosconi starts, when you could kind of start at your own time and you could end a little bit early, give the teams room. And I think there'd still be enough people there, fans there, especially Europeans would come in early. They're going to be there for the whole event. It's not like Vegas where Americans pop in for the last day or the second to last day. Europeans come for the whole event. So I think that we'd still have a good crowd, and I think that would probably be a little bit easier on Shane as far as having that kind of, nervousness of an acceptance speech. It's not like 3 hours, an hour after you got done playing. So, I mean, there's things that hopefully will work out. I would love to do it there.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to be there. I know you're going to be there. I already can't wait to go to Orlando in November. Now that it's going to be over there and hearing about that resort, I think my kids are probably going to go too. So I'd be excited for that. Take them to go see some Team USA and see my girls all dolled up with the red, white, and blue. It's March, Mike, and we're talking Mosconi Cup. This is why I love it. It's March, and we're talking about the Mosconi Cup. I love it. I love it.
Who loves it? Matchroom loves it.
It's year-round conversation, and it's only going to get more. The pool world is growing. Mike, I want to have a full follow-up and reaction. Just kind of, I know we're kind of just tiptoed around it, but there's a lot more questions that I have, including that little bomb you put out a little bit ago. So, are you free in the next couple of days, Mike, to come on and do another show?
I will, unless I'm sequestered.
Listen, after your last two shows,
unless I get a gag order thrown on me, then
you've been on fire, buddy. These last two shows, we haven't been on in like 3-4 weeks, and you came on hot and loaded, Mike, hot and ready. So, anyhow, thanks to everybody for tuning in. Big shout out to Sky and for Jason for coming on short notice. They're great sports, and I'm excited to see how they just grow into this role. So we'll have more reaction coming up in the next few days. Thanks to all of our sponsors. You see them all over the screen, but they're not just logos. They're part of the Windows Open Dogging It family. So big shout out to them. We'll be back on pretty soon. And thanks everybody for hanging out with us.